She folded like an umbrella. I was disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. Really disappointed. Frankly, I think she choked.
For years, Jeanine Pirro has been one of President Donald Trump's most loyal allies. From defending him on national television during her years at Fox News to becoming one of the administration's highest-profile prosecutors in Washington, Pirro has been a central figure in Trump's push to crack down on crime in the nation's capital. But now, a criminal case involving the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool has exposed what appears to be the first major public fracture between the president and one of his closest political allies. If you enjoy in-depth reporting like this, be sure to subscribe to the National News Desk here on YouTube. Trump and Piro have known each other for decades. Both New Yorkers, their relationship predates Trump's political career. As a former judge, district attorney, and later Fox News host, Piro became one of Trump's most outspoken supporters, particularly after the 2020 election when she repeated his claims that the election had been stolen. That loyalty ultimately led Trump to appoint her as U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, one of the most politically visible prosecutor positions in the country.
She's really, to me, she'll always be known as a great lawyer and a great prosecutor, which is what she's doing now. So Jeanine Pirro, I have no doubt, will be an exceptional U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, one of the truly most important positions in our country.
Her appointment came as Trump made crime in Washington one of the defining issues of his second administration. He surged federal law enforcement resources into the city, expanded prosecutions, and promised to restore order in the nation's capital. Pirro quickly became one of the public faces of that effort. During her tenure, her office handled significantly more criminal cases as the administration prioritized violent crime.
We started right. The president, the attorney general, we now have a petri dish. We now have a blueprint. And the blueprint is, we're going to make more arrests, we're going to get more guns off the street.
That made the reflecting pool controversy especially surprising. Earlier this summer, federal prosecutors charged former Olympic canoeist David Hearn with felony vandalism, accusing him of damaging the newly renovated liner inside the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool.
The evidence shows, we will prove beyond a reasonable doubt, that Hearn willfully destroyed property at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. This was a deliberate act to damage the reflecting pool at the National Mall that members of the National Park Service actually have worked hard to restore and have witnessed. By Hearn's own admission, on June 19th, he reached down into the pool. Our evidence further shows that the National Park Service employees observed Hearn actually forcefully and violently pulling up and removing the bottom liner with both hands.
Piro publicly declared that the government would prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hearn intentionally destroyed federal property. Hearn previously pleaded not guilty to the felony.
This indictment reflects the administration's effort to scapegoat Davey and to shift blame for their own failures. We will litigate these issues vigorously. We have confidence in our justice system to see through this misuse of government power against an ordinary American based on a false and politicized narrative.
But behind the scenes, prosecutors were beginning to uncover information that dramatically changed the case. According to court filings, Interior Department records eventually revealed that significant damage to the reflecting pool existed well before Hearn ever visited the site. Piro's prosecutors said that they were only recently provided documents showing widespread defects linked to the rushed installation of the new liner ahead of 4th of July celebrations. Faced with that new information, Piro's office concluded it would be difficult to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hearn caused the damage. The charges were dismissed. In the filing asking the court to dismiss the case, prosecutors wrote that the damage stemmed from, quote, flawed installation by the contractor and the rush to complete the project before America 250 events, rather than vandalism alone. Piro reportedly made the decision personally after discussing it with officials at both the Justice Department and the White House. According to multiple reports, Piro privately blamed the Interior Department for failing to provide critical evidence sooner. Sources familiar with the matter say she even arrived at a White House meeting carrying boxes of documents supporting her argument that prosecutors had not been given the complete picture before filing the charges. She reportedly argued that once investigators received the additional records, the case simply was no longer prosecutable. That explanation did not sit well with Interior Secretary Doug Burgum or members of his staff. According to sources familiar with the dispute, Interior officials believed Piro unnecessarily blamed the department publicly instead of addressing the concerns privately. They also argued that she blindsided senior administration officials by airing those shortcomings in a court filing. The disagreement soon reached President Trump.
Frankly, I think she choked because the judge was really vicious. Instead of going after the people that did it, the judge went after her and went after her department. And I guess she choked. I was disappointed with Jeanine Pirro, really disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella.
Trump has repeatedly insisted that the reflecting pool was vandalized. On Truth Social, he urged Americans to, quote, look for yourselves at what he described was obvious vandalism, arguing the liner had been cut with a knife or a box cutter.
Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right? We have them where people are on the side cutting it with a box knife.
Speaking to reporters, Trump doubled down, saying he disagreed 100% with Piro's decision to dismiss the case.
No, Jeanine Pirro made a mistake. It was vandalism.
Trump did acknowledge he was not, quote, 100% thrilled with the contractor, who completed the renovation, saying that the work had been rushed to finish before July 4th celebrations.
So now I'm not saying I was 100% thrilled with the contractor, but the contractor was rushing. We wanted to get it open for July 4th, and we got it done.
But he maintained that vandalism also occurred and criticized Piro's handling of the case. Behind closed doors, according to multiple reports, President Trump's frustration was even more intense. Sources familiar with the meeting say Trump confronted Piro at the White House, where he reportedly yelled at her and, quote, read her the riot act. Despite the heated exchange, however, Trump stopped short of removing her from office. When reporters later asked whether Piro would remain U.S. attorney, Trump declined to commit.
I haven't made a determination.
Multiple sources close to the White House believe that their long-standing relationship may ultimately protect her position within the administration.
If President Trump wanted to fire anybody, right, and within his administration, he understands he has the power to do that. When you look at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office's body of work over the past year and a half, and where we are in this city compared to where we were, they are doing a phenomenal job. Now, does that mean that every case goes exactly the way that President Trump or I want or U.S. Attorney Piro wants? I mean, of course not. It doesn't. So I think that what you've seen play out in the press with respect to President Trump and U.S. Attorney Piro is it's all out there already. But I don't think that changes the fact that her prosecutors, her office, what they've done over the past year to transform this city into a place that we can all now walk around in after sunset is something that's incredible. So I don't think they're inconsistent with each other.
One source told CNN that Trump likes Piro and is less impulsive than during his first term, while cautioning that, quote, anything can happen. The reflecting pool case has also highlighted broader challenges facing Piro's office. Now, Hearn's attorneys are asking the court to dismiss the case with prejudice, preventing prosecutors from ever bringing the same charges again.
Apology would be nice. It's hard to know what that apology might sound like from the people that have been pushing this so hard, and I don't know what that would sound like. It would be nice to get an apology.
Who do you want an apology from? Jeanine Pirro or Todd Blanche or even President Trump himself?
I think for now we're going to focus on getting the case dismissed. That is the best first step.
They also requested records detailing how the case was initially brought. A hearing has been scheduled for September. For now, Jeanine Pirro remains Washington's top federal prosecutor, but the reflecting pool case has placed one of President Trump's closest allies under an unusual spotlight.